Is there a chance the Nets could use one of their five draft picks to trade up from 8 to 2 to grab Rutgers guard Dylan Harper? Well, joining us with what he's heard about the Nets and the number 2 pick is our beat writer, Brian Lewis. Brian, thanks for hopping on with us. I guess we have to talk about the elephant in the room before we talk about the draft. Is there any update on Giannis Watch? Any news on that situation?
No, they're still in holding mode. I mean, listen, one, nobody's going to do anything now during the playoffs to overshadow the games, or they're going to get their wrist slapped by the league. That's the first. Second thing is, if you'll think back and you remember, 2019, Katie and Kyrie picked pretty early, but Kawhi took days deciding which LA team he was going to join, and it held up the entire offseason. Imagine like you paused a video. That's what's going to happen here for every team that has even a dumb and dumber chance of getting Giannis. So I think this elephant is going to be in the room for a little bit longer.
All right. Well, they've got 5 picks inside the top 36. There have been reports that continue to just pop up out of nowhere about them having interest in trading up to the second pick to grab Rutgers point guard Dylan Harper. His dad added to that hype when he responded to the post linking Dylan to Brooklyn. So, likely or unlikely, the Nets trade up to grab Harper at 2.
Unlikely. Matter of fact, I might even go highly unlikely. That's from multiple sources. Listen, you never say never, but I think that's something that I wouldn't count on seeing happening. Trading up, maybe. And I'm sure they'd love to have Dylan Harper, but the odds of him landing here in Brooklyn, not very good.
All right, so if they don't trade up to number 2, you say they could. The possibility of them trading up is likely. So, what are the other spots that I guess make sense for them to trade up to, and who would they possibly grab?
I mean, I think 1, 2, 4, and 7 are probably all off the board, realistically speaking. Um, the Sixers could move the pick at 3. That's not impossible. I think it would be hard to get, and I'm not sure whether it would be worth what you're going to have to give up to get it. Now at 5, maybe Danny Ainge, he's in possession of that, and he's always willing to deal. There are credible reports out of Washington that the Wizards could conceivably be willing to move off of 6, which that makes sense. I mean, they've had what, like maybe 7 straight losing seasons, back-to-back seasons in the teens. So, I mean, at some point, they're going to have to show improvement and add some grown-ups in the room. But I do think it's also important to remember that moving up doesn't just entail going from 8 to whatever, 8 to 3 or 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. As you correctly point out, they do have 5 picks. And it's also for some of these same reasons, it's hard to really envision them rostering 5 rookies and trying to actually develop 5 rookies at the same time. So I think what's also feasible is the idea of packaging some of those lower first round picks, 26 and 27, or 19 and 26, maybe with future picks or maybe with veteran, and trying to move up and get a second lottery pick. I think the top 8, maybe 9 guys are probably starting to settle in. I think most of the churn in this draft is going to be in those, say, 10 spots after the Nets lottery pick, whatever, 9 to 20, 10 to 20, 9 to 19. That's where I think a lot of the churn is. So if there's somebody that they really love, I could see them moving up from 19 and trying to get a second lottery pick there. That's also feasible. So moving up doesn't just mean from 8. They can stand pat at 8 and combine some of those assets that they have and move up somewhere else in the lottery.
All right, Brian Lewis, thanks for this post exclusive.
All right. Thanks for having me.